5 gourmet popsicle recipes for you to make and earn great money. In this video, I've put together 5 top-selling gourmet popsicle recipes that are super popular around here, so you can add them to your menu and sell a lot. You'll learn step-by-step how to make a Chocolinho popsicle, a super creamy chocolate base with a Ninho milk Brigadeiro filling, and I'll show you exactly how to make it. The second recipe is a strawberry mousse popsicle, made with real fruit to make your sales shine. And if we have strawberry mousse, of course we have to include a grape mousse popsicle too. I'll show you how to make a rich, creamy grape base, plus the grape jelly that goes inside each bag. The fourth recipe is a bestseller flavor. If it's on your menu, it's guaranteed to sell. I'll teach you how to make a cappuccino popsicle base. And not with any store-bought cappuccino, I'll show you how to make the cappuccino from scratch. I filled mine with Dulce de Leche, but you can use Nutella or any filling you prefer. And the fifth and final recipe is something new, but I'm not going to reveal the flavor just yet. You'll have to stay with me until the end of the video to find out what gourmet popsicle is currently trending. So go ahead and give this video a like, and let's jump into the step-by-step. I'm going to start by making the Ninho milk Brigadeiro in a saucepan. Add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 box of heavy cream. This Brigadeiro turns out super creamy and makes a great quantity. Now, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of Ninho milk powder and 1 tablespoon of margarine. I'll mix everything well before turning on the heat. And you guys, this Ninho Brigadeiro can be used to fill other popsicle flavors too, like the strawberry one or even cappuccino. Just imagine that cappuccino flavor with this Ninho filling. How delicious would that be? Get creative, make adaptations, and make your popsicles even more amazing. I mixed it all really well, and now I've taken it to medium heat. Just keep stirring constantly until you reach the right consistency. Keep stirring the whole time. Okay. Since this is a white Brigadeiro, it burns very easily, so stay alert. Here's the point I usually go for. When you can run your spoon through the mixture and see the bottom of the pan. It doesn't need to be too thick, because once it cools, it'll thicken more. So this right here is perfect. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I made this recipe using 1 full can of condensed milk and cream, because I wanted leftovers for other flavors. But if you're only making this one flavor, you can just cut the ingredients in half. Okay? Now I'll let the Brigadeiro cool completely before filling the bags. And while that cools down, I'll show you how to make the base. Since I want to fill the bags right away, I'm not going to use a blender. I'll just mix everything directly in a jar. Start by adding 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. But if you prefer using a blender, that's totally fine too. To flavor the popsicle, I'm using 1 cup of 33% cocoa chocolate powder. You can also use 50%, but if you do, I recommend using only half the amount. Otherwise, the flavor will be too strong. You can also substitute with chocolate-flavored powder for ice cream. Whatever works best for you. Now, I'll add 1 tablespoon of ice cream stabilizer, and I'm going to whisk the chocolate powder, condensed milk, and stabilizer together using a whisk so it dissolves better. Once it's mixed, I'll add the rest of the ingredients. 1 box of heavy cream, and lastly, 1 liter of whole milk. Then mix well. This base ends up super creamy and foam-free. Now I've poured the Ninho Brigadeiro into a clean squeeze bottle. I actually keep this ketchup bottle just for filling popsicles. This recipe made 12 gourmet popsicles in total. Now I'm going to freeze them, and I'll be back to show you the results. If you're new here and you liked this recipe and want to see more like it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because we post new videos every day. This is without a doubt a foolproof combination because everyone loves chocolate, and Ninho milk is just amazing. And look at that creaminess. It makes such a soft popsicle with an incredible flavor. Try it. You won't regret it. And like I said, you can totally use this filling with other flavors, like acai popsicles with Ninho filling are so good. So that was our first recipe. Now let's go to the second one. Here I have 2 trays of strawberries already washed and sanitized. From these 2 trays, I set aside 6 of the biggest strawberries I found to slice and place inside the popsicle bags. This part is totally optional. If you don't want to put strawberry slices inside, you can just use all the strawberries in the base. In the video description, you'll find the full list of ingredients with exact measurements and even a suggested selling price. As you can see, I placed sliced strawberries in the bag, but if you prefer to dice them into smaller pieces, that's also fine. Now I'll show you how to make the base. In a blender, add all the strawberries. You can add them whole. No need to chop them. Add 1 box of heavy cream, 200 grams, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and yes, it's necessary to add the sugar because once the popsicle freezes, the sweetness will fade a little, so we're boosting it a bit. Add 1 packet of strawberry-flavored powdered drink mix. This part is optional. I like to include it because it adds more color and intensifies the flavor. I think just using strawberries makes the flavor a bit too mild. But if you don't want to use the powdered drink mix, you can skip it and use just the strawberries. Add 1 liter of whole milk. And take a moment to comment down below which fruit-flavored popsicle you want to see next. Now add 1 heaping tablespoon of stabilizer, and it has to be heaping, okay? That's because we're already using milk, condensed milk, heavy cream, and also strawberries, which release a lot of water. If you use only a level tablespoon, your popsicle might end up with ice crystals. Strawberry popsicles naturally tend to crystallize a bit because of the water from the fruit. As you saw, I put strawberry slices in the bag, but you could also use strawberry jam, or just make the base without anything inside. Still, I think having sliced strawberries inside the bag really draws attention and makes it stand out. Now it's time to fill the popsicle bags, and look how pretty the sliced strawberries look inside the bag. Because our base is super creamy, the strawberries stay visible like this. Since this base is really thick, I'm going to use this funnel I made from a plastic bottle to make filling easier. I'll pour about 130 milliliters of the base into each bag. See how the strawberry slices stay visible in the bag? It's because the base is really rich and creamy. Now I'll finish filling all the bags and be right back. Stay until the end of the video because I'm also going to show you the final frozen result of this popsicle. This recipe made quite a lot. It yielded 14 popsicles in total. I'm using popsicle bags that are 6 by 24 centimeters in size. And besides those 14, I even had a little extra that I used to fill a mini bag. Now just pop them in the freezer for 6 to 8 hours or until they're fully frozen. I'll be back to show you the results. I'm back. Now's the moment you've been waiting for. Let's see how delicious and creamy this popsicle turned out. You can be sure that if you add this recipe to your menu, it'll sell like crazy. Because honestly, I don't know anyone who doesn't like strawberries. Here's the final result. Super creamy, full of flavor. Now, let's move on to the next recipe. For this recipe, I'll be using 1 tray of grapes. I'm using seedless Vittoria grapes. I recommend using seedless grapes, and I like the Vittoria variety because it has a more intense color. But you can use any kind of grape you prefer as long as it's seedless. Next, I'll add 1 cup of sugar. Check the video description for all the ingredients, cup sizes, and precise measurements. I'll also add the juice of half a lemon. And lemon is super important here. If you skip it, your jam will be way too sweet, since grapes are already sweet and you're also adding sugar. Lemon balances the sweetness and gives the jam that beautiful shine and perfect texture. I'll also add half a cup of water. Even though grapes release water on their own, this helps create a more flavorful and smoother jam. Now I'll stir everything and take it to the heat. There's really no big secret to making grape jam. You just bring it to a boil and cook until it reaches the right consistency. Some people make grape jam by blending the grapes in a blender, but I don't like doing it that way. It makes the jam too acidic. If you've ever made homemade grape juice, you know what I mean? It can be so acidic it actually causes a strange sensation on your tongue. So I prefer to use whole grapes, just like I'm showing you here. And don't worry, the skins get super soft once the jam is cooked. You can follow this recipe exactly as I'm doing. I've left it cooking over medium heat, and I stir it every now and then. As you can see, it's starting to boil, but we still need to cook it a little longer to reach the right consistency. And the final consistency is totally up to you. If you want a runny jam, you can cook it less. If you want a thick, spreadable jam, cook it a bit longer. The consistency I like is this one. When I can run my spoon across the bottom of the pot and see it clearly, the jam is thick but still has a bit of syrup. That's how I like it. Now I'll transfer it to another container and let it cool completely so we can use it to fill the popsicle bags. If you want access to over 100 gourmet popsicle recipes, click the link in the video description and get my complete guide with the best gourmet recipes. And as a bonus, you'll receive a free ebook with 50 extra recipes. In that bonus ebook, you'll find fit popsicles, alcoholic popsicles, and budget-friendly versions. Click the link in the description and grab your complete guide now. Now I'm going to show you how to make the base. In the blender, I'll add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 box of heavy cream, 6 tablespoons of sugar. If you've been following me for a while, you already know this. For certain flavors, you need to add sugar, or else the popsicle loses sweetness once frozen. To flavor it, I'll use 2 packets of grape-flavored powdered drink mix. I like to use this intense grape version. If you prefer, you can also use grape-flavored ice cream powder. Make sure to use 2 packets. Using just one will leave it to mild. Next, I'll add 1 liter of whole milk. 1 tablespoon of stabilizer. Now blend everything for 2 minutes. This base turns out so creamy that you don't even need to let it rest before filling the popsicle bags. It creates no foam and comes out incredibly smooth thanks to the powdered drink mix, which adds a great consistency. And this is how the jam looks after cooling. If your jam turned out too thick, feel free to add a little water and mix it in. Jam thickens as it cools, so it's normal for it to be thicker now. To fill the bags with jam, I find it easiest to use this homemade funnel. The one I made from a plastic bottle, I've shown it in other videos too. I'll add 1 tablespoon of jam into each bag. I want the popsicle to be nice and filled, but the amount is totally up to you. Then just spread the jam a little. Look how gorgeous it looks inside the bag. Because the base is super thick, I'll use the same funnel to fill the bags. Since I've shown the bag filling process in several other videos, I'm going to fill them all now and come back in a second. I've finished filling all the bags, and this recipe made a lot. I got 14 full-size popsicles. Check the description for the volume in ml used in each bag, and here they are, fully frozen and ready. Now it's time to cut one open so you can see how creamy and delicious it looks inside. And this is the result. Super smooth, no ice crystals, and packed with flavor. Don't forget to tell me in the comments which one has been your favorite flavor so far. Now let's head to the 4th recipe. For this recipe, I'm using 100 milliliters of cold whipped cream. I'm using whipped cream, but if you prefer, you can use heavy cream, about 200 grams. 1 can 395 grams of sweetened condensed milk. 1 liter of whole milk. It can be cold or room temperature. By the way, tell me in the comments, what's your favorite brand of sweetened condensed milk? The one I'm really liking and using right now is COO, which has 8% fat and a great cost-benefit ratio. To flavor this cappuccino base, I'll add 6 tablespoons of chocolate powder, 33% cocoa. If you're using 50% cocoa chocolate powder, I recommend using only 3 tablespoons, otherwise, the flavor might be too strong. 5 tablespoons of powdered milk, any brand is fine. It doesn't have to be Ninho to make the cappuccino flavor. You'll need instant coffee powder. The one I'm using is this brand here. I'll leave it on the screen for you. So it's a little different, but you can use any instant coffee you have on hand. I'll add 1 tablespoon of instant coffee powder, 1 tablespoon of stabilizer, Liga Nutra. Now, I'll blend everything for 2 minutes. As you may have noticed, I didn't add any sugar here, because the whipped cream is already sweet. Plus the powdered milk and the Dulce de Leche we'll use for filling add sweetness as well. This way, the flavor doesn't get too sweet or overwhelming. If your base ends up with too much foam, just let it rest for a bit and then skim off the excess with a spoon. Here, I've already filled the popsicle bags with Dulce de Leche. There's no mystery, just open the bag and add the Dulce de Leche inside. I used a small dessert spoon, one of those small spoons for sweets, and I filled each bag with a full spoonful of Dulce de Leche. Then, I poured the cappuccino base into the bags. Imagine this perfect combo. Cappuccino with Dulce de Leche. Delicious, right? If you don't want to use Dulce de Leche, you can also fill with Nutella or any hazelnut cream, chocolate ganache, chocolate chips. There are so many tasty options. With the help of a funnel, I filled each bag with about 130 milliliters of the cappuccino base. Stay till the end of the video, because I'll show you the final result of this popsicle. Look how beautiful these cappuccino popsicles look. Imagine taking a photo of one of these and posting it on Instagram, Facebook, or WhatsApp. People will definitely want to buy. You can even add whipped cream inside the bag for an extra touch. Many people love whipped cream, and it looks amazing. This recipe made 10 popsicles, each with 130 milliliters in a 6x24 bag, the size I usually use. If you can't find these bags in your city, I'll leave the link in the video description for you to buy online. All from Shopee, so you can activate free shipping coupons and receive everything at home. Now I'm going to freeze these and come back to show you the result up close. Here are the cappuccino popsicles with Dulce de Leche already frozen. You have no idea how amazing these taste. This cappuccino base I taught you to make yourself is so much better than those ready-made cappuccinos you buy in stores. I say this because I've tested both ways, and this homemade version is much better. Now comes the moment you've all been waiting for. Cutting open the popsicle so you can see how creamy it is inside. Look at this result. A super creamy popsicle with a delicious flavor. For the last recipe, the flavor is a surprise. Lemon with Bis, the popular chocolate wafer candy. If you haven't tried this combo yet, give it a shot. You'll love it. It's really delicious. If you don't want to use lemon flavor, you can replace the lemon powder with a special cream-flavored powder, and you'll get a creamy flake Flocos popsicle with Bis Dot. Start by adding into the blender 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 can of heavy cream, 1 liter of whole milk. For flavoring, I'm using lemon-flavored powder for ice cream. But if you prefer, you can use lemon drink powder. Add 2 tablespoons of this lemon flavor powder. If you prefer using lemon drink powder, you can use just 1 packet. Add 8 tablespoons of sugar. Remember, lemon popsicles are more tangy, so if you don't add sugar, the final product will be too sour. 1 tablespoon of ice cream stabilizer. Blend everything for about 1 minute. Now add the bisque pieces. I'll pulse the blender so the pieces stay chunky and don't get blended into powder. Look how the bisque pieces show clearly inside the mixture, exactly how I want it. Fill the popsicle bags with about 150 milliliters of this base. I use the same 6x24 size bags. This recipe yields 12 popsicles. I hope you enjoyed these 5 gourmet popsicle recipes. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to make at home. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't yet, and share this video with your mom, grandma, aunt, or anyone who needs extra income, or with someone who will make these popsicles for you. Big hugs and see you in the next video.